Okay, hey, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about a little bit of equipment, and it's something that everyone has been asking for quite a lot, equipment reviews, and just to look at some of the gear that we use when we're out on our classes with SR3. So a couple of things about SR3, we don't manufacture any of our own gear. This, I think, puts us in a really cool spot because we're unbiased. We have the ability to be sent gear from different manufacturers. We can buy gear ourselves and take it out in the field and run it through its paces without feeling obligated to recommend it. It gives us a chance to try it out, and then we can choose what works best for the agencies that we're working with. Today we're going to look at a product called the Helitack Hotseat by CMC. They make a couple of different pieces of gear in the Helitack range. They have a product called the Stork. They have the Hotseat that we're looking at today. They also have a product called the Airbag, and they have a harness as well, which is just called, I think, the Helitack. The price on this piece of gear is $719 US as of today, which is February 2024. Prices are always going up, but as of today, that's where we're at. And yeah, let's take a look through it, and I'll show you some of the features. All right, so let's take a look at a few of the features of the bag here. A couple of things I really like about this thing. Obviously it packs up into a nice small container, nice and easy to transport. Has rated gear loop here, so you can clip it to yourself or clip it to the aircraft or wherever you're transporting it, so it doesn't, it's not just a loose object. Bag's nice and heavy duty. Inside, the way that we've got it packed up right now is the way that I personally like to use it in the field. Leave the bag at home. If you want it, you can take it, but the way that it's rolled up here, and I'll show you how to do this at the end, is how I prefer to use it. And then if you're wearing a harness or something, you can basically clip it to your harness and you're set up and ready to go. So, like I said, nice and small, nice and light piece of gear, one carabiner, and it's ready to go. When you open this thing up, you'll see a few of the features here. So, a couple of things I really like about this. Again, super heavy duty, reflective strips all the way along. So if you're doing night operations or low light operations, any light from the aircraft or from the ground is going to help to light this thing up, makes it nice and easy to see. A couple of grab handles on here as well. Really, really good if you're doing hoist operations. When your subject arrives at the cabin door, you can use the handles to manipulate them, pull them inside, whatever you need to do. The other cool thing too is in the field, like we are here. If you were doing an extraction out of some tight terrain or maybe out of a cliff area or something like that, you have the ability to actually help to control that victim as they're coming up off the ground as well, and have some stability control over them. Likewise, if you're doing short haul operations, when you're arriving at your deployment site, when that subject comes back to your drop-off location, basically the first thing that you have access to is the grab handles on the back, and you can guide them to the ground and hopefully get them down nice and stable. A couple of things I really like about this. It's really simple. Couple of attachment loops here, and that's it. Third spot to go through between the legs. I'll show you guys how to put this on here momentarily. Grab handles for the subject as well, so they can hold on. If they're holding onto these, it means their hands aren't somewhere they shouldn't be. So this is a really good way to control your subject. The other thing I really like about this, and it makes it more of a multi-use device, is inside here it has this extra flap. So you can open up the flap, and inside there you'll see there's a small infant rescue harness. So that's rated down to, quite small individuals really, and you can package those up, and as long as you can get a nice tight fit around the waist, you can package quite a small subject in there with a lot more security. Even adults, to a 32-inch waist, it'll actually fit around their waist as well, so you can use it for quite big adults even if they're a bit uncomfortable. Sometimes that can help to make things more comfortable. The bag itself, or the vest itself, is rated up to 4 pounds, and it comes with an NFPA rating, so that's really good. It has some certification behind it as well. Yeah, really, really versatile piece of gear. So any helicopter operation that's doing anything basically land-based, this is going to be something that you can use a lot of the time for a lot of different purposes. And yeah, we really like it. We really recommend it. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about is a few of the circumstances where this is the correct piece of gear to use, and also some times where maybe it's not the most appropriate tool. Most of the time, this thing's going to be used in land-based rescues. It's really, really difficult to put on and off someone in water-based environments. So for things like that, you're going to have a rescue strop or a horse collar. Life-Saving Systems and other people make really good ones. There's also things like cinch collars and capture straps made by CMC and LSI and other companies like that. So this is really, really good for any time where your victim is on even a boat or something like that, but a relatively stable surface. And then a lot of our land-based rescues as well, it's going to be really, really good for. A time when it's not really the most appropriate device is any time when you suspect any kind of major spinal injuries. It can be combined with a KED or some kind of other spinal immobilization, but you have to be really careful with your packaging. Most of the time, you know, hiker, rolled ankle, sprained wrist, something like that, really, really good. The other thing that's really not the best for is when you're suspecting serious head injuries, any kind of altered consciousness level, anything like that. It's gonna potentially cause some problems there if you don't have a really good control of that patient. Things like litters and Bauman bags and stuff are gonna be more appropriate there as well. The last thing really that it's not great for, or makes things a little bit more challenging potentially, is in terrain like this where you have rocky features, cliff terrain, stuff like that. If you had a subject who was in a position where basically they were holding onto something and didn't feel comfortable letting go, the device really requires you to get the subject's hands through the loops and through the handholds. So if that person is holding on, particularly with two hands, and doesn't feel comfortable letting go, again, there's devices like strops and capture straps and other devices like that might be more appropriate there. But if you can get a subject into this thing, it's going to be a lot more secure, a lot safer. So you need to weigh up each situation based on where you're at. Again, the times not to use it, most likely in the water, most likely with serious head injuries or spinal injuries, and if the person needs to let go, and that's going to compromise safety by doing that. Other than that, this thing works 80 to 90% of the time. It's amazing. So now we're going to show you guys how to put this thing on a subject, and a couple little tips and tricks that go along with that. So one of the things that I really, really like about this bag is if you are going to use the storage bag here, it can be used for a couple of things. Toques, beanies, hats, sunglasses, whatever. Good way to store those if you need to, if you're going to bring it along. Otherwise, inside the bag here, just on one side, there's actually a clip. And on the receiving end of the bag, there's also a clip. So clipping those two together keeps the storage bag nice and secure and stops it becoming a hazard going through rotor wash and things like that. So once you're ready to go, open up the vest nice and wide like this, and you've got your subject ready to go here. So the instructions are pretty simple. Just put one arm through the armhole, around the back, other arm through the armhole, like so. And then if the subject is cooperative and super helpful, you can actually ask them just to hold those two rings, like so. If not, you can hold them with one hand. And then find the strap that goes between the legs, clip all three together, and then you've got your lifting point here. Next thing, again, if that subject is cooperative and helpful, and if they're not already sitting down, I personally prefer to have the subject sit on the ground. You can sit down here for me. Whichever way you like, there you go. And then what that allows me to do, like I said earlier, is once we're actually getting to the extraction stage where that hook or that long line shows up, we can clip that victim in. If we're going double up, I can have myself set up as well. And then as that person starts to get lifted off the ground, you know, instructions to the subject, again, grab hold of the handles, don't let go. And then as they get picked up off the ground, remembering we have those grab handles on the back of the device that we can use to actually help get that person up. And then I'll get picked up after that. Other than that, it's, yeah, super straightforward, super secure. That person's not coming out of that device if you've rigged it up properly, and very, very comfortable to ride in as well. It's a great bit of gear. On the back as well, there's a spot there that you can attach a tagline in a couple of different places. So if you are using taglines for these things, there's places on the back to attach those, and you're good to go. Okay, so to pack the bag up, I'm just going to show everyone how to do that quickly here as well. The way that I find best is to take the two D-rings on the sides, fold them over each other, get it up nice and tight, and then start from the top, the head end, and basically start rolling from there. As you get down, you can see these yellow handles start to disappear here. And the way this thing lines up really, really well is when you get to this final part, just kind of pull it to the side, and you should be able to find one of the loops that you can put that carabiner through. And there's your package, nice and tightly wrapped there. If you've wrapped it a little bit differently and it's easier to grab one of the grab handles further down, that's fine as well. But there's lots of attachment points there, and then from that point, you've got your point that you can connect it to, or you can store it in the bag as well. Okay, so hopefully everyone's liked the review that we've done on the CMC Helitack Hotseat. Like I said, it's a great piece of gear. We use it all the time. Hopefully this will be the first of many gear reviews that we're doing on the products that we use, we recommend, and a lot of other agencies out there are using. If you have a piece of gear that you're using or you'd like to see more information on, chances are we've probably got it in our kit somewhere, and we'd love to hear from you. So throw a comment in the comment section, send us a message, let us know what you guys would like to see, and we'd love to bring you guys more of these reviews of gear that we love. Again, $719 US, which is in helicopter terms actually not too bad. Available through SR3, available through a lot of other retailers as well. And that's price is correct as of Feb 2024, and it no doubt will go up like everything else. Next week, on a different note, SR3 is off to Heli Expo in Anaheim, down in California, and we're going to be doing lots more walkarounds of aircraft, which we know you guys love seeing the H145 from Las Vegas video that we did. We're going to look at lots of gear. We're going to be doing some more interviews with some of the guys that we hang out with down there, which is really exciting. And it should be a good time. So again, if there's anything you want to see from Heli Expo, if you're able to make it, we'd love to see you there. We're at a booth this year with Massif, who make our flight suits for us. And booth 1900, if you're there. And if you're not, yeah, like I said, leave a message, send us a comment, let us know what you're up to. And we'll try and get you as much of that content as we can. But thanks for watching.